Hola, ¿qué pasó, señoritas? Bienvenidos a SnailTrail4x4. This is the bilingual version of SnailMail. Hopefully, I can't even talk. Hopefully everybody's having a great day today and you're gearing up for a really fun weekend. If you guys are coming out to see us up at Uncle Tom's or Stumpy Meadows, hopefully we'll get to see you and shake your hand, say hi, and have a drink with you and have some good time in the snow. So we're out getting ready and gearing up for that. So
that's what I'm going to be doing today for sure.
I'm doing something else.
Good.
We'll get into that next week.
Sounds fun.
We have 33 voicemails.
Serious?
33.
I think we got down to 24.
I thought we did pretty good last week. And got those down to a manageable time.
Like 10 in this last week?
Yeah.
Dang. Yep. All right.
So should we just kick it off? We get going?
Yeah, we might as well.
All right. Sounds good.
Let's see how we can get through.
Yeah.
All right.
First one up.
Rapid fire.
Is Richard in Atlanta.
Oh, Richard.
Wait. Yeah. Georgia, Atlanta. Here we go. Atlanta, Georgia.
What's up, Kimosabe? Hey, Jimmy, Tyler. This is Richard down in Georgia, Atlanta area again. Just had a couple thoughts, listened to another podcast, and wanted to call in, leave another voicemail, and figured I'd try and start off how y'all do. Probably wasn't even funny. Anyway.
Part Spanish.
Several topics. The first one, tires. I know you guys are Yokohama fans, and I don't want to ask a question that would have you speaking against them, but for like a daily driver Jeep, I don't give a shit if it's a 4Runner, a freaking Scout, Bronco, a Jeep, but something that gets and goes off-road, something that airs down, into the teens. Do you guys have a preferred tire or experiences with certain tires that you prefer over others, or is it just like Yokohama or go home kind of thing? The reason I ask, and this is leading into something separate, a couple of weekends ago, currently running just the Nitto Ridge Grapplers on the Jeep, so nothing aggressive. The other one has mud terrains on it. But anyway, we went into the east side of Tennessee, and as we went up in elevation, we hit snow. And we did not have a good experience with it. We were about 45 minutes in, according to Onyx. We had another hour and a half to go to get to the peak, kind of the overlook of this mountain area. Beautiful part of the country in East Tennessee there. And we hit snow. And it was not fluffy. It was not very deep at all. There was tracks in it. Again, I was air down, but we started hitting some pretty quick elevation change for this area. And I couldn't do shit about it. Started slipping. It didn't matter. Lockers, no momentum. And I wasn't getting ready to winch up the mountain. So, I spent the next 2 hours struggling back and down the mountain to find a turnaround spot, which is another topic. But I just wanted to ask, I'm kind of thinking a mud terrain would have taken me a little further, but perhaps got me into more dangerous conditions for what I was at in my experience level. So I just wanted to ask about that. I'm getting ready to hit the 3-minute mark. Y'all keep traveling.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think we've actually ever really done like an AT tire episode or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't know if we have either. I know that the ATs that you have on Charlotte that I had on the F350.
Yeah.
I had a set of the 37s to go on the Bronco.
Yes.
Traded them for the extra set of 40s. But that all-terrain tire, I really like that all-terrain tire from Yokohama.
I do too.
It's a great grip, really low road noise, but a pretty aggressive tread, and the tread pattern just works really well. Now, with that being said, in the specific situation that you were in, a mud terrain, you're right. It definitely would have helped. You would have had more traction. A lot of times if you're in the tracks too, that's sometimes the worst place to be in icy conditions, and you want to be just outside of the tracks so that you can grab more of slush and more powder, more slush, maybe more of the vegetation a little bit if that's the only thing to get you going. But you don't want to be driving in the vegetation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like it's a mud terrain. The problem with the mud terrain and increasing the capability of your equipment is exactly what you just said. It gets you further out into and away from civilization, where if something goes bad and now you're outside of your skill level, that can be a very big problem if something goes bad and you're outside of your skill level, especially in snow. Humans just are not, we don't operate well in snow conditions.
Yeah.
At least for very long. So, yeah, it's how do you match your vehicle's gear and equipment level to your skill level and keep those somewhat similar so that you're driving the equipment level at some points, and then sometimes the equipment level is driving your skill level to be up. It's in my opinion, that's kind of one of the fun things about vehicles and building off-road vehicles is I look back at, you know, what I started with and what other people start with, and they're pretty simple off-road vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a locker, maybe not. But it's like, you know, if you start off your first time ever going out wheeling is in a rear steer buggy,
Yeah.
are you really learning a whole lot with your to increase and make your skill level better?
Nope.
So yeah, it's a trick. How do you keep those two near each other but still pushing each other?
Yeah, I get that. I do think, I mean, Tyler and I have been wheeling quite a while. You know, we have a lot of experience with some different types of tires. You know, we're obviously biased right now, especially right now.
Not biased plied, but you know, we're biased in our opinions.
We like Yokohama.
That was a tire joke, Jimmy.
I got it.
Okay, good.
It wasn't funny.
Whatever.
Good try to be a dad. We like what Yokohama has. We like their offers. But we've also tried a lot of tires throughout the years. Yeah. I've had the Toyo ATs. I don't remember what their model is. Wildcats or something like that.
The Toyo MT. The AT. Yeah. I forget what that one is.
That was a perfectly good tire. I was very happy with that tire. I didn't do any snow in that tire. I am a fan of the BFG ATs. The KO2s, I haven't tried or seen much of the KO3s yet, but I also have no experience with those tires in snow. Do you have any experience with those? Because I know they're a very popular tire.
The KO2 was a very popular tire. It's not around and made anymore. I haven't seen too much of the KO3s, but the KO2 did better in snow than the KM2, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It walked circles around the KM2 for whatever reason. The KM2 just didn't flex. It wasn't a flexible tire. You couldn't get a good contact patch in the snow, so you keep your ground pressure. I don't know exactly what it was, but people with KM2 or KO2s walked circles around KM2s in the snow. And I think the KO2 did better than Patagonias in the snow. I think Patagonias are one of the worst tires in the snow, but that's just me personally and my experience with them and what I've seen people using them in the snow. Now, on the vice versa, that I think for a mud terrain, Patagonias are one of the best road mannered mud terrain tires. And they do awesome on rocks. What I really like about the Yokohama, the mud terrains especially, and the all-terrains do this a little bit too, is that they just do good in any condition. It's really been impressive. Usually when it comes to tires, you get three features, three qualities, right? You get road manners, snow and mud, and rocks. And you can only really get two of those out of the tire. Mm-hmm. Rarely ever do you get all three. And it seems like Yokohama, just their tires get all three of those. It's kind of cool.
I mean, I've been up in the snow the last 2 weekends with my Yokohamas, and I've been very happy with the performance in them and being able to go through some icy situations. Yeah. And they've been holding true for a while, so they're great. I don't have much experience with anything Nitto, and so I can't really talk about them. But Nitto's a great company, so I would assume their ATs is set pretty well. But it sounds like you had the Grappler, the MTs. I don't remember.
The trail grapplers are the MTs. The ridge grapplers are the ATs.
Oh, so I forgot which one he said he had. But if I would go with, if you're driving on the road, I would say even 80% of the time, maybe even 75% of the time, and you're off-roading the rest of it, I say you should probably just have an AT tire on your vehicle.
ATs do great.
Yeah.
They do great. And as long as you're
going to
keep fresh rubber and don't let them get old and dry rotted, they're going to do fine for you.
You're going to get better gas mileage.
Yep.
You're going to have better road manners. It's going to be quieter. And it's all because those are designed mainly for the road with some off-road capability, which is the way that you sound like you are driving. You drive mainly on the road with a little bit of off-roading. And so I think you sticking with an AT is a good idea.
Yep. I agree.
All right, Richard. Well, I hope that helped.
Yeah.
Maybe it just caused more questions. So you know what to do if that happens.
Yep. Call back.
Did he?
Yep.
Okay.
He has more questions. So
apparently so.
Here we go. Richard from Atlanta.
Hey guys, it's Richard again. This is just part 2. Customers are always right. So I'm just gonna leave a second voicemail. Tyler, let's just roll with it, man. Anyway, continuing the talk.
Rolling.
So I can't say I was really too comfortable, and I hope like Nick from Montana or somebody like that doesn't just start labeling me as a sissy or something. But I've driven in snow before, not like plowing through it or anything, like just out in the streets and stuff. But as far as going up that particular mountain, it was not a comfortable thing for me being on kind of a ridge road. Cut into the hillside with, a drop off, the wife over there grabbing the shit out of the handles, and just like not really understanding the situation and having to back up. And I tried to, it wasn't a moment of panic or anything like that, but it was just, getting later in the day. It was getting colder again. So things would be refreezing. And I just told myself I'm just going to back down in sections. Again, there was no room to turn around at all. There's nothing I could do with the recovery gear that I had where we were at to safely turn us around without, having somebody else with us. We just backed down the trail in sections, got out of the Jeep, took a break, walked around. I would kind of scout out if there was another area we could turn around successfully in until finally one of the smaller areas I was able to, with her kind of spotting, back the Jeep up against the embankment, kind of pull forward against some trees as a safeguard, continue to, kind of hairpin turn and back around until I could get pointed back down the hill. But the greatest part of that, other than gaining that experience, was I finally got to use my new Moreflate deal to air the Jeep down. I was not able to use it to air up due to some fitment issues on my side with the compressor that I had. But what an awesome product. So Moreflate, Tyler, I sent you a picture or whatever, but appreciate that. That was definitely worth the purchase for sure, and fits exactly what I want to be doing. So I'll wait a few days and leave another voicemail. I've got some other topics written down, so I guess that's it for now. Y'all take care and keep cropping.
Did he send a text photo? He said he sent you a photo. I wonder if he texted that line.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Not on here. I think it was on Instagram. Yeah, send it over.
Cool. Well, hey, I just want to say good job for being safe.
Yep.
It sounds
100%.
like you did the right thing. One of the hardest things about off-roading is realizing when you should turn around.
100%.
Realizing when you should put your tail between your legs, say it's time. I've met my limit. It's time to turn around, or in your case, reverse back.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like you did the safest thing possible. Taking it in chunks, not trying to do it all at once, taking it slow, scouting where you're going, thinking about where to properly turn around. It sounds like you did a great job in figuring out how to turn around.
Mm.
So I say great job to you. It always sucks to have to make that choice, but it sounds like it was the right one in your case for sure.
Yeah. Off-roading is all about traction. It's a game of traction. And no matter what type of off-roading you're doing, some people are trying to lose traction, right? So it's a game of traction. And when you are losing traction, when that's not your goal, and you're on a shelf road on the side of a cliff kind of thing with a steep drop off on one side, that's a, I don't want to say a hard no-go, but I think you made the right decision rather than continuing to push. It's just when things get slippery and icy on a situation like that, the risks are very high.
Yeah.
And I think you made the right decision for sure. So
I agree.
Yeah.
So good job, Richard.
Yep.
And call in, tell us more of those topics.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you could possibly text in and just give us a list of topics and we'll just turn them into episodes.
Yeah, right.
Something like that.
Yep. Glad you like your Morphlate. It is definitely one of those products that like everybody I talk to that orders and ends up getting one is always like, this is the best thing ever. I wish I got one earlier.
Right.
So I'm glad you like it. And let me know when you're ready to get a compressor. We'll get you hooked up, man.
Yeah. Or if you need help figuring out how to adapt yours to the Morphlate, they can give you a hand with that as well.
We got adapters for everything. So next up, Beer Craig.
All right. Yeah. I'm ready for this.
Before we go to Beer Craig real quick.
Okay.
It was Richard. The only one we've talked to so far. He named off a bunch of different off-road vehicles in the first voicemail he left.
Okay.
He did not mention Land Rovers. So
no,
just stating, just trying to point out there that Land Rovers are, nobody likes them.
They're not a vehicle.
They're not even, people aren't even thinking about them. So
right.
That's how they're.
Okay.
Next up, Beer Craig.
Beer Craig.
Here we go.
Hey, Beer Craig here. We're going to do this quick one, all in one take. So, first of all, I want to say that from listening to everything, it sounds like we do not like the Mule. And I think it sounds like you want to get rid of it and just keep Kermit. So maybe I'm wrong. That's the way it sounds. Also, in the non-snowpocalypse, where we got 6 of estimated 18 inches in Tulsa, I got to take my 3rd gen Tacoma on 30 smalls, and I got to pull out a F350 from a ditch, who definitely did not believe me that I could do it. So that felt pretty fucking good. That's all I got. Keep crawling and stay warm. Also, Toyotas are great and you suck. Fuck, I missed.
Love it.
That's funny. No, I do like the Mule it's like different vehicles, right? There's different. I love the dually, right? I even like the Lexus, the wife's car, the secretary's car. It's a nice car. It has its purposes, right? The Mule has its purpose. It's a really, really capable family wheeler.
Yes. I
think Kermit doesn't fit a great bill of being a family wheeler. A, there's limited space in the back seat. And B, it's just not as quiet. It's loud inside. So the secretary does not really want to go out wheeling and on trips in Kermit anymore. But like I personally, and I don't know if this is a subjective or objective statement. I personally feel like Kermit is a better off-road vehicle all around than the Mule.
Okay.
But that could also just be, I've built Kermit, so I know every little noise that happens, right? I know every little feeling that happens with that vehicle. So I feel way more comfortable with it and what it can do. And I know that if I bind up in an undercut somewhere, how hard I can push it and before I'm going to destroy something.
Sure.
I don't know all that with the Mule yet. So I'm still really uncomfortable wheeling the Mule just because I didn't build it. I don't know exactly what all went into it.
Right.
But it is a very comfortable vehicle. Like Stellar and Dimitri did a good job building that vehicle so that it doesn't really feel like a big badass rock crawler. It really doesn't. When you're driving it and riding in it, it just doesn't feel like that. It feels like you're an everyday car you're driving down the road. It's really weird. But it is very capable. So it just serves a different purpose. And I think I'm at a point in my life where it's not about me anymore. It's not about what I want out of an off-road vehicle. It's not about how I want a vehicle to handle. It's about, do I want the family to still come out with me or not?
Yeah.
And there's going to be some concessions that are going to have to be given on that front if I want the family to still come out with me and have a great time. So
makes sense.
That's really the purpose the Mule is serving for me personally. The other kind of thing that I've been wondering about is, I wanted to get the Mule as another show vehicle for the company for More Flight. And I wasn't sure how it would handle, how it would do, how it'd be taken by the Jeep crowds.
Okay.
I think that, in my opinion, personally, I think there's more interesting things being done under Kermit.
Then the reverse triangulation in the rear of the Mule.
The reverse triangulation is a cool thing under the Mule. It works really, really well. But like everything else on the Mule is kind of, I don't want to say cookie cutter, because I mean, how many 4th gen 4Runners are there?
Well, it's just a 3-link in the front on Super Duty axles, and it's the triangulated rear. Well, how do you say that?
Rear triangulated
4-link with a Super Duty in the rear.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's normal front. Everybody sees 3 links with a Super Duty.
Yeah.
It's just the trailing or the triangulated rear triangulated part in the of that rig that makes it unique. Where Kermit.
Well, I think that's not even the part that most people see and recognize about the Mule.
Okay.
Most people kind of are looking at the Mule and they hear the V8.
Sure.
They hear the straight pipe V8. And that's what I think it's everybody going. And like, rightfully so. It sounds awesome. But like, I think the axles under Kermit are so much better. I think they're so much cooler. I think the 4-wheel underground suspension performs better than the Mule suspension. I think that I love the dichotomy. Would it be a dichotomy of just how wide the axles are and how narrow the body is on Kermit? It makes it so Kermit is very extremely stable, but it also makes it so I never have to worry about hitting the body on anything because the axles hit everything and the body never gets close to anything.
Right.
And so it's this really cool, nimble thing that dances around the trail really, really well. And the Mule has quite a bit. I didn't think, looking at the two vehicles, that the Mule was that bigger of a body, but wheeling it and being in it and everything, it is quite a bit bigger of a cab than the second gens. And so more space, quieter, comfier, more amenities going on inside of it makes it a great family wheeling rig, very capable family wheeling rig. But I think that there's more fun things going on with Kermit, but people just see a 2nd gen 4Runner. They don't see the axles and the suspension and everything going on with it, which is weird to me. Whereas people see the Mule and they're like, holy shit, that's a solid axled 4th gen straight piped V8. That's awesome.
Right.
And like, there's so many people that drool over the Mule. And I'm like, yeah, look at Kermit though. He's got all this stuff going on. They're like, yeah, but it's a straight pipe V8. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
So,
well, there's obviously there's different people that like different things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There's people that like brodozers. There's people that like rock crawlers. There's people that like the slammed stances or raked vehicles and muscle cars or rat rods. So, they teach their own to some level. And that's one of the things I actually really appreciate about the automotive scene is that, it's like there's stuff out there that you don't like and there's stuff out there that you do like, and not everybody's the same about it.
Yeah.
But we all appreciate what can go into those vehicles.
Yeah.
Like when somebody slams a vehicle, I'm like, whatever. But to think about how they slammed it, how they were able to put the frame on the floor. Yeah. Like, I'm like, that's a lot of work.
That is a lot of work.
That's crazy, and they're thinking the same thing about us lifting our vehicles. Like, I would never do that. Why would I lift a vehicle? I don't want to do that. But man, you lifted that thing pretty tall and it's got all this stuff built into it. That's a lot of work.
Yep.
So I think your problem, I think, is that you have two vehicles that it can do the same purpose. You have one that's just more of like the single guy vehicle, and what would the assistant call it? The bachelor vehicle.
Yeah.
And then you have the family vehicle.
Yeah.
They're both extreme 4x4 rock crawlers.
Mm-hmm.
Where like me, I have Bobcat, which would be the rock crawler one, which is also the bachelor one, because there's not enough seats in that vehicle for the family. There is, but not really. And then we have our Tacoma, Tacoma, Charlotte, which is an overland rig, right? So I have the family vehicle and an off-road vehicle, but they're really two different levels. Yeah. Right. One's like, if you need something more than what a fire road is going to be, well, then we've got to take Bobcat. Yeah. Right. Yeah. If we're going only out on fire roads, I can take Charlotte. And so there's this good mix there where you've got two of them that are like equally capable off-roading. Yeah. You just have a comfy vehicle or the bachelor vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So do I need a fourth vehicle then?
Yes, you do.
I got one. Do I need a fifth vehicle now?
Yeah. Well, you got to buy Mike Smith's first gen.
He's not selling it anymore.
No?
He took it off the market.
Oh.
Yeah. He's going to link it. He's putting links under.
Okay.
He got,
did he buy a Jeep already too?
No, he's not going to buy a Jeep. It doesn't sound
He's just going to link it.
And he's going to link it for now. Lower it a little bit, link it, put it down to 42s instead of 44s. And then, he'll look at getting a Jeep in the future, but right now he's just going to keep the 4Runner and do some fun things with it.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, that was fun. Thanks, Beer Craig. Now you understand Tyler's brain about the Mule.
Yeah. Right. And congratulations on pulling out the 350. I know that those 350 guys are very much like they pull everybody else out and you cannot move them. They're immovable objects. Right. And so it's always fun when you get to go and pull one of those vehicles out with your Tacomas or your first gen 4Runners or whatever you got.
Hopefully you used a kinetic strap.
Yes.
Especially in the snow.
Yep.
And not to the trailer ball.
Yeah. Yes. Next up, Richard from Atlanta.
Okay.
Welcome back, Richard.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey guys, Richard again from Atlanta. I just want to continue my talk about, us being in the snow in Eastern Tennessee. I've kind of got some limited time that I've done that. I mean, like a year or so ago, we had the family up, we were in the mountains, North Georgia mountains. And, it's not about like, driving through snow and some ice and stuff. Again, this wasn't like anything deep or whatever. I guess, we just got caught up with the sudden elevation change. The gain was getting ready to be like, 400 or 500 feet where we were at or something like that, and just couldn't make it happen and, started slipping and all that stuff. But on the subject of snow wheeling and I'm uneducated with this. This is why I'm talking to myself through y'all's mail, voicemail. Like there's like some guy's YouTube channel I watch. They like do a lot of stuff in Canada and stuff. He's got like this huge Gladiator and usually has somebody else with him. And I don't know if it's Adventure Unknown or I don't know, one of those guys. But one of his recent videos, this guy's up there, they ended up camping out near the river, but like they were up snow wheeling. He's like having to reverse and like gun his Gladiator to, like plow through the snow. I mean, he's obviously making the tracks for the guy behind him and just like, just tumbling this thing to like see how far he can go. Man, that shit wouldn't be fun to me. Is that what y'all do over there with your tracks and stuff? I don't know. I just don't like, it just seems like he was constantly, I'm sure he had a thing with like a V6 or something. It wasn't like a 392 or whatever. Down in low range, flooring it, going 20 feet, hitting so much snow you can't do anything else, backing up, doing it again. Man, I'm not trying to do that with any vehicle. That's just not like, get me on the rocks or something, Get me in Arizona or what I normally do in this part of the town. But just want to get y'all's thoughts on that. And then limited time here. What I was asking about tires is, for a daily driver type tire that gets aired down to go trail riding, is there something in the Yokohama line that you guys prefer? I've just noticed with the tires that we have, they seem to kind of plot up. They don't clean out as easy and like, dry dirt type conditions when they get packed. Mud, they're fine. On rocks, they do okay, I guess. And then snow, it kind of just sucks. But anyway, that's it. Y'all keep crawling.
That entire time you were talking, Tyler was sitting here quiet, quiet, had his mic down, just nodding his head. Yep, Richard, that's what we do.
That's what we do.
Yep. Yep. We rev our engines and slam into a wall of snow and try to push it a foot or two and then reverse and do it all over again.
For 8 hours straight.
Yep. If it's deep like that, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, that's what you have to do. If the snow is not powder or it's not fluffy and you can continue to get traction back and forth, you end up pushing a wall. That you end up either having to eventually try to drive over it with building a ramp, or you just continue to push it one way or another.
Yep.
So, and I think my guess is it was Story to Now, was the YouTuber you were talking about. I'm not sure. And in regards to tires, I think we kind of covered that. Like, we really like the Yokohama X ATs. Their extreme AT tire.
Yeah, I think that one's definitely worth it. Sounds like that one's checking all the boxes that you're looking for. From mine and Jimmy's experiences from running that tire, it sounds like that it's hitting everything that you're looking for. Mm-hmm. So definitely give that one a shot. Check it out. I think it's worthwhile. Yeah,
I like it I don't want to dive too deep into it because we've already had 3 callers on from your end. Let's see. But it's a more aggressive, it has a bigger void ratio. It looks like it could be an AT tire, but it also looks like it could be a mud terrain tire. So it's this interesting cross between them both. And it, like we said, it rides nice. It's more of a quiet tire than a mud terrain, but it's a little louder than an AT. But in our experience, it performs very well in pretty much everything we've thrown at it.
Yep. Let's see. Snow wheeling. Yeah, man. It's you definitely get to that point of you're just going and hitting walls of snow as hard as you can with your vehicle. The nice thing about it is, as long as you're like in the trail, you're typically not going to hit anything that's going to do damage to your vehicle. With that being said, I have watched Jeff Bakken run and try and do that and then hit a stump underneath the snow. Whoops. That was funny. It made me laugh very hard. But it's typically you're not going to hit anything that's going to hurt the vehicle. It just kind of comes to a stop as you can't push anymore, and then you have to kind of reset and do it over again. People who are doing unlimited depth snow wheeling, typically, they may have a goal of what they're trying to get to that day, but really most of the time when I go out snow wheeling, I'm just I just want to be the furthest track made.
Okay.
That's my goal. And if I make it 1 inch further than the last person, I am happy. That is my goal for the day. Right.
I like it.
And so a lot of times when that's your goal, you're going to get stuck. Like I say, one of my things is about snow wheeling is you're not really snow wheeling until you're getting stuck and having to winch and get pulled out. And so it can be a very frustrating day for some people. Some people definitely don't like it. I've 1000% been out with people on those days and they just get fed up with getting stuck. And I'm like, this is great. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't want to be here. I'm wasting my time. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We know you don't like, you and I don't enjoy the same snow wheeling. And that's fine. That's perfectly all cool. If rocks are your jam, go do some rocks, man.
Yeah.
So just get out and enjoy the vehicle and get out and enjoy the outdoors. So
agreed.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Let's do another one.
The next one is a twofer.
Okay.
He called and got cut off at 3 minutes. And then called back in another 2.5 minutes.
Is it Richard again?
No.
Okay. Let's do it.
Okay. Here we go.
Hey, fellas. Alex from South Carolina here. I'm clarifying and tying up loose ends. So first, that car wreck. Everyone was okay. It's all good. No worries. But it did interrupt my message. Well, if you want to call it that, it was more kind of just rambling.
I forgot about that.
I'll clarify my camping, glamping, whatever. I agree with both of y'all when y'all were saying that truck camping or overlanding kind of needs a separate category. I agree with that. I think that truck camping can be either, depending on how fancy you get. If you got a microwave or if you got like a heated sleeping bag or, the Taj Mahal of rooftop tents. I don't know. And also based on how rough the route was to get to your spot. That's a new one I just came up with. So like when you guys go off-roading out in the Rubicon or wherever else, it takes you a while to get to your spot, and it's not a fast drive out of there, and you could actually break stuff on the way out. I'd say that's camping. That's primitive enough. I mean, even if you bring fancy stuff, you still gotta, if someone breaks a leg, if there's a tornado or something, obviously you don't get tornadoes up there. But that does bring up a memory from Boy Scouts. When it was a car camping, we brought the trailer type deal. We went up to a historic Civil War battlefield, and you camp on the mountain. It's Kings Mountain, is ones where it was kind of a turn of the tide, and we actually, the Revolutionary, or I said Civil War, I'm a fucking idiot. It's a Revolutionary War battleground. And the colonists turned the tide, and they were fighting up the hill. So usually, high ground has the benefit. Anyways, it's really cool. You should look into it. We had brought these kids. It wasn't a terrible drive. It was a drive up a forest road for a little bit. But we had a tornado actually come through and just rip apart all these new kids that came on. It was supposed to be an easy camping trip for all these new kids to get them kind of used to camping that have never been. And I think the youngest kid there was like 6. And there's a tornado. It ripped tents, hail like the size of golf balls. And they were all huddled in the damn trailer. There were some of us that were still asleep and woke up with hail hitting us in the forehead in the middle of the night. That was hilarious. Permanently burned in my memory. And then the hail on the trailer sounded like gunshots. It was hilarious. It was funny.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
All right, let's just continue on.
All right, here it goes.
Wow, totally got cut off. Don't remember where I got cut off. Also, this will be my last call about camping versus glamping. I promise I'll talk about something way more interesting. But I don't know where it cut off, but I'm going to start with, if you're truck camping or overlanding or whatever, and it was a rough drive to get there, doesn't matter what you brought with you. You could bring a damn Xbox, but if you drove through the craziest trails, I mean, if you break a leg, or if you break your Xbox and you really like your Xbox and you got to go home, it's not going to be an easy route out, and you could still break your truck. But if if it was just a short drive on a forest road, and you brought the Taj Mahal of rooftop tents, and you brought a microwave, and you brought a Xbox and all this other, how people can get, and that's glamping. If you're in an RV, you're not glamping. I don't care. I know it's completely subjective. It's opinion based. I don't care. That's a vacation. I get it. They call them RV campgrounds, but you can take a shit in an RV and flush sometimes. I'm not saying RVs aren't cool and they're not fun, but I don't think they have anything to do with camping or glamping. I think glamping is just fancy camping, and an RV is you are just vacationing. Anyways, I'll talk about my vehicle. So I've got this piece of, it's a turd. Toyota Sequoia, first gen, the only truly good gen. But my passenger front caliper decided to lock up on me last week, and I didn't notice it until it got really bad, mainly because I'm just busy. And it drives funny already, so it just drove a little bit more funny. But luckily, my brother has a corporate account with O'Reilly's, and we got rotors and a caliper for like $200. So that was great. Literally saved like $100. And it's about to end. But I'll call back and talk about my build ideas for this vehicle. Sorry about so many messages.
So
great.
interesting. So some of his came down to egress as well. Your
Yeah.
exit strategy, right?
Yeah,
I think we had somebody else that
Zach
was talking
from Oklahoma, I believe, brought that up
okay.
also about it. you should consider in case of an emergency getting out situation. Yeah. That's the second one to bring that up.
Yeah.
Which I always thought camping and glamping is more of how you make your camp.
Yeah. What your shelter is, what your amenities are.
Not so much of like getting the trip to get there or the trip to get out. I've always just thought about like, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
I went off-roading and camping.
Yeah.
I went 4x4 and I went camping. And it's not, I went camping for me.
Yeah.
In a way. But now that multiple people have been bringing up your egress, the exit strategy, maybe that, that does fall into the category a little bit.
I would like to build off of if you're in an RV, you're not camping.
He said glamping.
Or glamping. You're not glamping,
you're
camping,
vacationing.
You're vacationing.
I like it.
And it made me think that maybe RVs are just a poor person's cabin.
Yeah. It's a portable cabin.
It's a portable cabin. There you go. That's right. Right. You're going up to the mountains in the RV. You're substituting buying a cabin and property up in the mountains. So you just have a mobile cabin. So
yeah.
Okay.
I could see that.
Yeah. You're cabining.
If you can flush the toilet, like water flush the toilet. Maybe you are vacationing.
Okay. So the Lance is vacationing?
I don't know. It's not. Yeah. No, I wouldn't say the Lance is vacation. All right. So that's out.
Yeah.
If the shower and the toilet are in two separate areas, then you're vacationing.
Oh, that's funny.
If your shower does not fly into your toilet.
Yeah. Mine doesn't in the Lance.
No?
No. Mine are separated.
Okay.
But I will say, my legs are so long that when I'm sitting and taking a poop on the toilet in the Lance, I can't shut the bathroom door.
Oh.
So like if I want to shut that, I kind of got to shut it and hold my knees up.
You don't fit between
the toilet and the door. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So you
probably get better poops like that though.
Maybe I should just put like footsteps on the door.
Squatty potty.
Yeah, put a squatty potty footsteps on the door.
Yeah.
People open up the bath. What are those for? That's my squatty potties, man.
Yeah, there you go. And if
funny.
you guys are really missing that, if you're not watching the YouTube video right now.
Well,
thanks, Alex, for calling in. It sounds like your build is very similar to, or could be very similar to what our good buddy Derek Miller has done to his first gen Sequoia. Mm-hmm. And it's got the whole exact same pretty much mock-up, I'm assuming, as Tyler's Mule 4Runner with that V8. Yep. So you have a lot of options for that thing. That thing could be pretty badass.
Yep. You could even go race KOH, as we know. So, all right, that does it for Snail Mail today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all the fun conversations. I know we always do. And hopefully everybody goes and gets a squatty potty off of the Snail Trail Amazon affiliate links. So that way we can always say that we earned some money from squatty potties.
I like it.
If you guys want to call in, leave us any feedback from today's voice snail mail episode or other episodes out there, you can always do it. 916-345-4744 is that phone number. It goes straight to voicemail. So don't worry about whenever you want to call. Whenever you have something on your mind, give us a call and let us know what's on your mind. We love hearing it. So Jimmy, anything else that we got, or was that's pretty much it, huh?
I think that's it.
All right, then everybody have a great weekend out there. We'll see you Monday. You do not want to miss Monday's episode. I think everybody needs to be aware of it. It's a currently California issue, but it is a federal level issue, so it can happen anywhere in the country if it stands and stays the way it is. So it's a very risky and dangerous precedent. Make sure you're listening on Monday's episode. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then.
Bye-bye.
The number you have called has been disconnected.